Hi everybody, this is a review video of the first graders, the conventions of drama. So, how will you handle writing a paper 2 essay about plays you have studied? So, paper 2 is a particular type of essay in an IB course. So, you have to write an essay expressing your opinion or your analysis about a certain drama or certain play. So, how will you handle how will you solve the problem? How will you write your essay of paper 2 about the drama? While references to the reader are in some cases acceptable, generally, IB examiner will expect you to both possess and communicate that you are well aware that you are discussing plays whose completion lies in performance. So let's imagine that you are writing a paper 2 essay for IB examiners. Just mentioning about the reader, just mentioning about the impact about the reader of drama will be quite acceptable. It will be okay. But in order to have a better score, in order to have a good score in your paper 2 essay in IB course, just mentioning the impact of the reader is not going to be enough. The examiners, IB examiners, will expect you to both possess and communicate. You are well aware that you are discussing plays whose completion lies in performance. In other words, in order to have a good score in as paper 2 IB essay, you have to discuss the drama or you have to discuss the play that you know that the play is written actually for a performance. So you have to show your knowledge, you have to show your analysis that the drama is originally written for stage performance. So you have to write about your knowledge about the drama as a performance, and also you have to write about several different perspective about the drama, such as like word, structure, character, plot, stage direction, light, and etc. Okay? So you can convey this awareness by referring to such matters as stage directions or entrances and exits of our main character into our stage, and to groupings of people on the stage. So how you would group people on the stage, or in fact many of the conventions that follow in the next section of this chapter will provide you with idea about addressing the play as plays, not just as text. So in order to like have a good score in IBSA, you need to mention something about the stage directions of a certain play, or entrance and exit points of our main characters, or different groupings of our people on the stage. For and other like many conventions, many techniques that will be introduced in the next section here. If you mention some of the techniques that mentioned here in this later part, probably you will have a better chance of getting a better score in paper 2 essays. And also you have to address your idea that this play 12th night, such as 12th night, is not just a text. It's written for script for live performance on the stage. So in this later part we will talk about more techniques regarding the drama or play. But as for side information, since you guys we don't really have a IB paper 2 essay in your course, I guess you don't need to really worry about this part right here. Okay? And the conventions of drama. So before we survey the conventions of the genre, it is important to note that we follow focuses chiefly on the conventions that have to do with the text of the play. So the conventions or the traditions or the techniques of drama, we have two types of technique. We have two types of drama techniques. One is for literature or text. Okay. The other one is a technique for actual performance. Right. So what follows here in this part is chiefly focus on the technique regarding the text of the play. Okay, we are not going to worry about drama techniques relating to actual drama or performance. We're more going to focus on the technique related to literature and text of a drama. Okay? There are many conventions that have more to do with acting than do with the script of the play, such as blocking or pitch and tones. So there are two types of conventions, literary conventions and performance conventions, and some techniques are more related to acting. So some techniques are more related to performance and acting. Skills like blocking and pitch and tone are all related to the acting or performance technique. And these are not our interest. Okay, we're not interested in these techniques. No, we're more focused on technique related to literature or text. Okay, sometimes the two sets of conventions are very close and overlap. Some are very precisely connected to such matter as the words, plot, characters, and setting of the play, and are more likely to be found in the list that follows. So these two sets of conventions, so these literary conventions and performance conventions, sometimes very close together and sometimes overlap. Some things they share together. Okay, overlap, they share together. And some techniques are very precisely connected to such matter as literature technique, such as like the word, plot, and characters and setting of the play. So techniques relating to words, plot, and characters setting on a play are connected to literature and text technique, and we will be more focused on this side of technique. And the list refers to the information that's included in this part. This literary list will focus on words, plot, characters, and setting of the play. We're not going to pay attention to performance and acting side of the play or side of the technique. Okay? So others have to do with technique of performance and are generally not included in the list. So some of the technique related to performance or acting is not included in the list that follows here. Okay? So these techniques not our focus. Okay, we are paying more attention to this literary and texture technique of drama. Conventions are also connected to particular historical period. So these drama tradition, drama rules are connected to historical period. So the conventions of Greek theater not precisely the same as those of Elizabethan or modern theaters. So these the conventions of Greek theater, it's not the same with Elizabethan or modern theater conventions. They have their own different convention of historical time. So what follows does not attempt to be a comprehensive list of theater or theatrical conventions. So the techniques that is introduced here, the techniques that follows here in this later part, it does not try to include all comprehensive list. Comprehensive means including everything. Okay, so this theory that's introduced in this part, it doesn't include all the possible technique, drama techniques in the history. No, it's impossible. Impossible to deal with comprehensive list of theater or theatrical conventions. Instead, the terms here are those mostly likely to be included in paper 2 questions. So the terms or traditions or conventions or techniques that are introduced here is with this paper, they chose some of the important ones. Some of the important ones that frequently emerge in the paper 2 questions. So this paper only deal with this term, tradition, convention, technique, which is quite important for paper 2 exam, in which genre and its convention play a part. So these techniques only deal with literary technique about the drama, which appears oftentimes in the IB exam. Okay? So the conventions associated with the word and written and spoken. So the first technique that's introduced here is related to technique related to words. So the dialogue, we have a dialogue. Dialogue includes all the words from the play designed to be spoken by actors comprising the bulk of script. So dialogue includes all the speech spoken by actors. Okay? Bulk means huge. Huge part of script is called as a dialogue. So all the speeches that actors and actresses make is called as dialogue. And monologue, on the other hand, are long speech spoken by a single character. So monologue, we have a stage, and we need to have several actresses, okay? Several actors, actresses, and suddenly one actor make a long speech while the actor is together with other actors. Okay, make a long speech is a monologue. Okay, he has to have a together with other actors. When a monologue is spoken by a player alone on the stage, it is called a soliloquy. So when there is no other characters on the stage, only one character speak a long speech, it's called as a soliloquy. And verbal irony is a frequent feature of the play. It usually involves saying one thing and implying another or additional meaning. So saying one thing and implying another additional meaning is a verbal irony. And it is sometimes called as a double entendre. So when you guys remember, like in 12th night, Maria says to Sir Andrew that your hands are dry, right? Your hands are dry. This is an example of a double entendre, right? Maria, when she says your hands are dry, Sir Andrew, it means that literally Sir Andrew's hand is dry, true, and at the same time she says you're old and I'm not interested in you and get away from me. That's also your hands are dry meaning. So Maria is using a double entendre or verbal irony in this case. She means several different things by saying one thing. Okay? And the aside, usually designated in the script, gives the actors an opportunity to add something under their breath for the benefit of other characters and also or especially for the audience. So many of students ask me a question, what does under the breath means? So under the breath means speak silently. You speak silently. So aside is usually when an actor they want to talk about what they think about deep in their mind. Okay, aside is made when an actor or actress want to deliver to their opinion deep in their mind. So what happens during the aside is that there is an audience, and there should be other actors actresses too on the stage. Okay, and you guys are having these actors having a dialogue, and suddenly one actor wants to really express his own opinion deep in mind, he wants to express his secret opinion to the audience. Then a side could make. Okay, so while the actor is together with other actors, suddenly these actors, other actors, they pretend. They pretend that they are not listening. They cannot hear. They pretend that they cannot hear what the one person is saying. Only the speaker and the audience can hear what the character is saying really silently. Because by doing aside, he is delivering what he really think about deep in his mind. Okay, so these other actors, they are pretending that they are not listening. They cannot hear what this one person say, but this one actor and audience can only hear. That's aside. And also the meaning of the for the benefit of other characters. So many of you also asked me the question, what does this benefit of other character mean? So here, I guess the benefit can be interpreted as help, for the help of other characters. So, this one character, he can only make aside when these other characters are helping. They need to help this actor. They need to help and pretend that they are not really hearing. They are not hearing what this other person is saying, even though they can hear. They have to pretend that they are not hearing. So this one actor can make aside from the help of other characters. That's what the benefit of the other characters mean. Okay, and also especially for the audience, and in order to help audience to understand what really goes on, the aside audience can hear. Okay, they can hear, but the others cannot hear. So the actor can make aside from the help of other characters and helping audience to understand what really goes on. That's aside. And now we're moving on to a convention that's related to a character portrayal, character description. So the protagonist of a play is usually the chief character who faces up the problem or dilemma that play is addressed. So we have our main character and we call it as a protagonist. And a rival to this protagonist is called an antagonist. Okay? Antagonist is a rival to our protagonist. And an anti-hero is protagonist whose character includes some features that are the opposite to what is expected to a hero or a heroine play. So the anti-hero is still a hero, but it's a little bit different hero. True, a traditional conventional hero is, their all action is good and they make their all action for the benefit of many people. But sometimes the anti-hero, like example of anti-hero is a Venom, right? We have a movie called Venom, and Venom is a hero. He tried to save the world, but sometimes Venom has to eat human being in order to sustain his own life. You know? Mostly he tried to save the world, but sometimes inevitably he has to eat human. And traditional conventional hero, they don't eat human, they don't kill human. No, they only help people. But Venom has some features that's a little bit different with traditional hero, and we call them as an anti-hero. Okay? And just as in novels, for example, there are likely to be secondary or minor characters in most plays. So we not only have main characters in a drama or novel, we also have a minor characters. And these minor characters have roles of varying importance. So these secondary and minor characters, they are also important to our novel or to our drama. And they have a different level of various importance. So sometimes there will be stereotypes such as a fool, a villain, the confidante, and are some called stock characters. So usually these secondary minor characters, they have stereotypes, such as like the fool. We have a fool in Twelfth Night, And the villain, we have bad people, and we have confidante. Confidante is a character which is full of confidence in themselves, very proud of themselves, very a stereotypical person. So these are all characters of secondary and minor characters, and we sometimes call those secondary characters as a stock characters. And we have an eponymous character. So eponymous character is one who gives a name to play, as a Hamlet, for example. So eponymous character is a title. Title of entire drama is named after a character, such as like Hamlet, and we have King Lear, and we have Harry Potter, and we have Honggil-dong, and we have Cinderella and Snow White, all bunch of examples. Right? And we call that character as eponymous character. And most of what needs to be known about character will be revealed in the course of play. So usually the information about the characters are explained in the play. Sometimes, however, the material is called their backstories. So this information regarding the life of information about the character is called a backstory. Usually this backstory is explained in the middle of the drama or in the middle of the play. At times, this story will be delivered by actually performing incidents from the past in flashbacks. So in order to deliver or in order to explain the backstory, sometimes in actual play, they use a scene from the past. Okay? They show us actual scene from the past, and it is called a flashback, talking about the past of the player. And events that occur in the future are called as flash forward. Also in the story, movie, or drama, they sometimes show the future of a character. And that scene, the future scene about the character is called as flash forward. And synonyms for these two terms are analepsis and prolepsis, respectively. And sometimes, we call flashback as analepsis, and flash forward is called as prolepsis. Okay? Same meaning, different name. Okay? Analepsis and prolepsis. And playwrights often help to build the impression of characters by deliberately constructed entrances and exits. So, sometimes the writers, they manipulate. They manipulate the entrance and exit point of main character. They intentionally manipulate, deliberately manipulate the entrance and exit point of our main character, and delaying the entrance of a main character can help to build suspense. If you delay the introduction or entrance of main character, you can make a suspense. You can make a thrill. Okay? An abrupt exit can convey a certain temperamental aspect of character. And oppositely, if you remove your main character suddenly, if you suddenly remove or you abruptly exit your main character from the stage, it also make a temperamental aspect of character, sudden impact of the character on the audience. Okay, and also gestures and repetitive actions also used to delineate characters and create expectations about them. Okay, so these gestures and repetitive actions, they are used sometimes to describe characters and create expectations about our characters. So finally, the substitution of actions and gesture for word through mime or pantomime is technique quite opposite to the importance of words. Absence of words do convey meanings. So sometimes these actions and gestures, they are used without word. Okay, normally actions and gestures, they are used together with a word, but sometimes actions and gestures used without any word, and that is called a pantomime or mime. So mime and pantomime, In other words, actions or gesture without any word is also a technique intentionally used by the writer in order to deliver the message. So also the absence of word, the pantomime or mime, action without any word can also convey the meaning and deliver the meaning. Okay? So we will call it a day here. Okay, today we talked about some of the literary conventions regarding the words and the characters. Okay, thank you for listening, and we'll continue our review in next session. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.